We have, every week we're going to have a program on Sunday that deals with one of the subjects. We're going to get around either by car or walk or whatever we got to do, and we're going to get these flyers out, and we'll write up another one this week to go along with this one, or to take the place of this one. So we'll wind up touching every place around here, and this is Black History Month, but we have to put. I don't believe nobody's going to be as clear and as global as the movement or as the Black History Month. So let me get started on one place. Does anybody know what Rubicon means? Rubicon. Where? Crossing the Rubicon. What does it mean?
After you cross that river, there's no going back. You can't undo it.
Right. When did it come into, where's the Rubicon and what?
It's from ancient Roman times. Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon, and the Roman Empire was never a republic after that.
Right. No doubt about it. That's it. Okay. What did he do before he crossed the Rubicon?
He had he would send his agents into the city to kind of, spread propaganda about, how invincible Caesar is and
Right.
he stopped, just go ahead, just give up, don't bother fighting.
Right. And he just walked into Rome. Right? In South Africa, the Boers, when they fought the British in 1900, 1901 and 1902, the Boers was wearing the English out. They were, South Africa technically belonged to part of a British colony, but the Boers, which were Dutch-like, they fought the British for that, and it was pretty bad for. Y'all ever heard the old stuff about, say, like 3 on a match is bad luck? If it's 3 people, that come from the old sniper days. The Boers were so good, if you struck a match and you like, this brother's bam, you like, that brother's bam. By the time it get to the 3rd one, they done already, first of all, they done woke up and saw it moving. Then they aim. Then when it goes to the next one, that used to be, they got that from history. That you're gonna get, that's how good their sniping was. And the Boers, there's a river in Transvaal, they said that they had to go into exile inside of South Africa. And they called that we had to cross our own Rubicon. That when they went out there, they was going out there for a certain reason. There's another thing about Commander Rhodes. Anybody remember this guy, like Rhodes Scholars and all of that? Okay. Huh? Cecil Rhodes, yeah. He was a big colonial guy, In fact, he was down in South Africa. And they had talked about they won't be able to do this, they won't be able to do that because the Zulus, the this, the that, and the other. And the South Africans, if you were to look up Matabele land and all those places, the Boers had sniper rifles that as good as they are now. I mean, they as good as, and out of that whole South Africa, they knocked that over when I say South Africa, I'm talking about what was considered at that time. That means parts of Mozambique and all of those areas down there. With all those wars, with the Maxim gun, which has just come out, machine gun, they killed thousands of black people. I mean, just imagine they're running toward. Now they had some chiefs of the Zulus that was bad. They whooped them up good on certain battles, but the general battle at one stage they had lost 8 white people to thousands of blacks. But now Bambata and others, they had bigger. They took the African chief, cut his head off, took a picture on it, and put it on a British postage stamp. That's how they felt about. They feel the same way about us. They got another thing. I just listened to the radio last night and this morning, up in what's the place where they killed the brother with his knee on him. They just had a search warrant, went in there and yeah, and just shot the brother. The brother had a right to carry a gun, and the brother wasn't doing nothing. He was asleep. Of course he was asleep. And then, so with all of what it went on, all them last 2 years ago, all those Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, they don't matter unless you make your life matter. Right? You have to, we're in charge of that. They might have taken everything away, but to get it back, we have to take it back. And the world is waiting. The world is watching the Negro. The world, I don't care what they say. You could get up in Ireland and Bernadette Devlin or Dorn, all of them will say, we got inspired, the new people, from Martin Luther King. Right? You can go in many parts of Africa. We picked this up from Malcolm X. You could go all along the coast on east side and west side. When Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana established his first independent African state, does anybody know who their Marcus Garvey? Now, white folks tell us that don't nobody like y'all. That's bull crap. That's bull crap. When I used to travel, the little kids would follow me around. Everywhere. Whatever it was positive. If I was in Pakistan, they thought I was a cricket player, because it's an old British colony, right? So they play that cricket, like not baseball, but whatever, they wear that cricket. And all the cricket players they see are black. So they knew, tall and trim, kind of muscular at that time. So they figured they got to be a cricket player. And down in, whether it's Mexico, Colombia, I was a boxeador, a boxer. Well, all my friends was boxing, so I could pretend like throw a few punches, and they said it's a boxer. Technically, I was a bodybuilder, but you look like a boxer, Anyway, let me get into the subject today. The discussion today is resistance, reconstruction, and big goals, big reach, things that make you stretch. Our goals that we have don't make you stretch much. And the Negroes that they send around us, though no talking lawyer that they get all the cases now. What's his name? That's his name. He don't speak English well. I'd hate to have him in court, but he's the number one man. And y'all saw what the people was talking about Al Sharpton the other day, how he done played it, and we done had Message Jesse and all of those people, and all the people that have some power. If you were to be in Chicago, the Rainbow Coalition and all that comes from our brothers before. Come from our brothers before. Jesse Jackson goes there and manipulates that situation, and he's for 20 or 30 years run Jesse run. They was telling some of the people in Oakland in '84 was saying, well, I guess we all have to compromise a little bit to run for Jesse. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't doing nothing. He'll be running by himself. And he sells out for what? A speech at the 1984, was that they let him talk. And he brought all those votes in. Because he got paid for it, right? And old Reverend Al, you see what, Reverend Al was a failed dope dealer. But he snitched on one group and he got another group looking out for him. That you let him go because he's going to give us a pass on all this property in Harlem, right? Now, if you don't give him a pass, well, you won't be able to get no money. But if you give him a pass, we're going to rebuild Harlem. And guess what? You guys got cement trucks, right? You got workers. Let's share and be winners. All of us gonna win off the niggas, right? And that deal only Sharpton only wanted what, $800,000? That ain't nothing. They'll get that out of one little building, right? One little building. Okay. So the point is us. And it's not a new phenomenon. It's been like this for 40 years. It's about us, and it always has been during this dispensation. It hasn't been, there has, at least I didn't discover, there has been, there is not, and there was not. The Islamic movement of African Americans that was independent and headed in the right direction. All of them were weighed down and loaded down, and it's been different fitna at different times, all the time. Right now, when I first came here in '89, the next year they had the Daoud something or other. We used to call him the bitter man coming through. Bitter, 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 if everybody remember him. Bitter, bitter, bitter. Next thing I heard was, we called it, from Philadelphia, was sex lies and videotapes about these big talking Negroes having little girls, and stuff like that. I mean, that was so every person that they build up for us, they're going to destroy them. They build them up and then they destroy them. They build up our heroes in front of us and then destroy them. One thing I said when I was leaving, and I said it then, that was a long time ago. I said, you'll never drag me behind your chariot. You know what I mean? Like you the hero, you the Negro hero today. We're going to tie you behind our chariot and drag you in front of everybody. So I said, you'll never drag this brother in front of and behind no chariot. And I left the country. And every time that we have come in contact with Boss Man, we have been very strategic because leaving give you time to think, and you never have time to study, time to analyze, you know, and that's what we did. Okay, let me get into so resistance and reconstruction. And this is for us and others too, like you have to harness a vision. Well, what we're saying is we have to harness a vision for the people. And this vision, it should make you stretch a lot, because a vision is something that you can reach, hopefully. But if you get involved in the movement headed that way, you're going to progress if you're just headed in that direction. Just to head in that direction. Okay.